Hi, this is based on something I did when I made my Juno 6, Juno 60, Juno 106 video a year or so ago, where I showed the differences between the synths and why they were so popular, how easy they are to use. So I created a load of patches using the Juno 6 in a couple of minutes, and that was described as a hidden gem, and there's no point in hiding gems on the internet, is there? But also, the camera was at the side so you couldn't see what was happening, so I thought I'd redo that video. I'd put the camera at the top so you can see exactly what's happening on the Juno 6, and it's such a simple interface. You can copy this on pretty much any polysynth. It's really simple. Every polysynth does anything this can do, really. It might sound different, but it still can do the same thing. So I thought I'd do it on this again, and it's also a good excuse to play the track that I made. It's a take on Beck's Where It's At, using nothing but the Junos. Anyway, let's make some sounds. So we start off with a pulse, and we'll make a few tones out of this. Okay then, obviously we've got a bass straight away. But to make that into more of a synth bass, we'll modulate the VCF with the envelope. So we'll add some envelope to the VCF and we'll pull the frequency down. Synth bass. Add a little bit of resonance to make it more synthy. Then whack that resonance up to give you that acidy feel. And then use the decay to make it snappier. And then if we add some chorus to that, very much a Mr. Finger style bass. We've not been using this envelope for the amplifier. The amplifier is gated, so the amplifier is essentially, if you've got a separate envelope, it will have been shaped like that so far, but now we're going to use that. So the envelope for the filter and the amplifier are both the same, and we'll do something like this. So you've got a little bit of release there. And this gives us some lovely little sounds up there. Drop the resonance down. Some lovely little plucks. And these really work well with arpeggios as well. Let's put something on this. Turn it on. Latch it. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you were doing it earlier. There we go. Make that a bit more electronic as well. Lovely little harp tones. Now, taking it away from being an electronic sounding thing into more natural sound, and let's do an electric bass. Let's turn the frequency up a bit, turn the resonance all the way down, put some envelope on, take the hold off, put this onto manual, and that's, well, believe it or not, that's an electric bass tone that you'd get from an analog synth in the 80s. And you can mute that, so like you're sort of muting the strings by bringing the decay down. Like a plucked bass now. And while we've got the pulse width at about, I don't know, about 3/4, if we play higher up, we've actually got piano style tones. Just make that a little bit longer, a natural decay on it. Maybe make the release a little bit longer, get it a bit more natural sounding. Maybe make that a little bit thicker. Bit richer there, isn't it? But that is essentially your analog piano from an 80s synth. Let's turn that into an electric piano then. So we make the pulse width thicker. So we turn this down so it's more like a square. Nearly there already. Make that a bit more complex, give it that tremolo effect. So we'll add some LFO to the filter and increase the LFO rate. Trigger mode on auto. There we go. Forgot this had that. We'll add some chorus to that as well. And as we're doing keys, let's make an organ. So we'll use the resonance to create a sort of second oscillator tone. So if we whack the resonance all the way up and put the keyboard tracking on, what we get is the filter tracking the keyboard, which means it should play in tune, like an oscillator on its own. Let's turn the oscillators off. There we go. Let's go to gate, because organs don't have release. And then let's bring in the oscillator. Turn off the chorus. And you tune that second oscillator, i.e. the filter, with the frequency. Let's turn it down a bit. Organ. Turn it into a more Hammond style organ. We'll put some PWM from the LFO. So not bad. And now let's turn that into a pad. So we'll bring this resonance all the way down. We'll add some attack and a bit more release and keep the sustain high. We'll reduce the LFO rate a bit. Just bringing this envelope in on the VCA, so on the amplifier. And that's so we get the release, not the gate, which is just on and off. And we could turn that into more of a sort of synthy pad. Let's whack the resonance up, let's whack the attack up and the decay up. So we're going to get a nice filter sweep, hopefully. Got to add the envelope, otherwise it won't follow the envelope there. And then let's add chorus, and this is the typical Juno chorus that it's famous for. that resonance down and listen to it as a sort of standard pad again. And that's why you don't really need presets on a Juno 6. All those sounds all made with just the pulse.
Remember cowbells and kicks from the 808 when Roland was king and the songs were great. Jupiter, JX and Junos were ace, and we still love them now for the sounds they make. Got all the sixes here in one place, 3 Juno synths and a system 8. Now for the sounds, just clap your hands, just clap your hands. I've got 3 Juno synths and a system 8. I've got 3 Juno synths and a system 8. Got 3 Juno synths and a system 8. That was a good drum break.
And that's why everyone loves the Junos. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please think about subscribing, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon, all that sort of stuff. This channel is supported by YouTube ads and my wonderful patrons. If you head over to patreon.com/StarskyCar, you get access to patches, samples, and extra bits and bobs, all for the price of a coffee per month. And also do check out my Starsky Car website as well. Again, there's patches and there's samples to buy, and there's free stuff you can download. So it's nice if you pick up some of the to buy stuff, because it really does help to support the channel. But anyway, thanks very much for staying to the very end. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.